So the iPhone 12 mini, one of the more interesting phones Apple has made, has now gotten iOS 17 and it's changed up a little bit now. So let's go and see how this phone holds up in the middle part of 2023 and see if it's still worth buying for the most part. Now, the first thing I'll definitely tell you is, for one, it's still worth buying. I think it's still a good phone. There's not too much to hate on it, but the size could be one thing that probably deters a lot of people from buying it, to be honest. So on the outside, you're getting that 5.4-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. And overall, I felt like it was a decent looking panel. It's a smaller panel than the, iPhone 12 at the time, but it's still a good one. You still have a fairly high resolution 1080p and a notch up top and everything, but there's really not too much to complain about. Not much has changed with the body since my early 2023 review of this thing. You're getting a lightning port at the bottom, and on the back, you're getting the standard glass back, which honestly looks pretty good. It's not the most premium feeling back, our iPhones like the iPhone 13 Pro, 14 Pro have the frosted glass back, but it still looks pretty good, not much to complain about here. You're still getting MagSafe on the back, you're getting wireless charging, IP certification, that dual camera setup on the back as well, and overall it's a pretty good looking camera, it's a pretty good looking phone, and I don't really have too much to complain about it from that aspect. Now, we are getting that dual camera setup on the back, which I think is pretty cool. It's a wide and ultra wide camera. And as always, like I mentioned, I was really happy this thing had those two cameras versus something like a wide telephoto lens like we had on the XS. And you can do 4K at 60 on the front and the back, which is honestly pretty cool. Having that type of capability is really awesome. And that's something that when I have something like the 12 mini, it in and of itself is a really good thing. So personally for me, I like that type of stuff with the 12 mini, and I do think it's honestly a really good thing going for this type of device. The camera is definitely its strong suit. Now, moving on to the software and the longevity portion, this iPhone, luckily for us, is going to be a phone that's still going to be supported for quite a bit of time. It's not really going to be going anywhere anytime soon, at least that's what I think, but depending on how Apple changes up their software longevity again, things could change, who knows? But as of right now, this phone is still supported. It's still going to be a good phone from that perspective. And again, from a software side, the biggest thing that did change recently was with iOS 17. This thing did end up getting iOS 17, which I think was pretty good. It's a decent sized update. I think it does bring some things to the table, but it's not an update where, it does bring like the most amount of things. It's a pretty basic sized update if I'm being honest, but it is really nice that you are still getting an update that is still having some and bringing some things to the table. So I think that's pretty cool. But again, it isn't the update where I would look at it and be like, oh my goodness, like this is a groundbreaking feature. It's just, a couple of good things, a couple of cool things that we have. But beyond that, there's really not anything super crazy if you ask me. So that pretty much covers it up there. Now moving on to the performance side of things, this thing has the Apple A14 Bionic chip inside of it with 4 gigabytes of RAM. Now this is actually, again, like a decent type of performing phone. It's still pretty good. There's really not a lot to complain about here either. But again, when you are getting a phone of something like the, iPhone 12 mini for this example, again, you're getting a phone that's still supported, still has lots of power, lots of features. And I think, again, that's a really cool thing going on for this type of device. So to kind of sum up this whole entire video, what I'll tell you is I definitely do think the iPhone 12 mini is still worth buying. There's really not a lot to complain about with this type of device. Is it perfect? Not really, but it's still a good phone, and I still think it's definitely worth buying for the most part. But I would probably recommend buying the iPhone 13 mini. I think that would probably be the best thing I'd recommend most people to buy. The 2021 iPhone 13 mini is worlds better than the 2020 iPhone 12 mini, which is crazy because there's only 1 year, between them. But a lot of things changed between that. So in terms of that, that's pretty much how I would kind of sum it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.